to the Plan Podcast. Michigan's elite political podcast is about to begin, live from the birthplace of the Republican Party. Let's gather under the oaks like our forefathers did. Now more than ever, it's time to stick to the plan.
Hello, everyone. It's another Monday, which means it's time for Stick to the Plan podcast. I'm Kevin, as always, and I'm here with Russ. We're waiting for our guest, but, well, let's get Russ on here.
Hi, Kevin.
Howdy. What's up?
I hear you and everything else through those speakers, but not me.
Weird. We'll talk into it. We'll figure it out as we go. 'Cause you're coming through on mine.
Hello? No, I'm not.
Oh, so there we go.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, now we're good.
I am here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Officially.
Now the speakers freak me out a little bit there.
Well,
I know
usually-
they're kind of cool.
I usually turn them down a little bit
Yeah.
when we're going.
Well, we're listening to that great intro.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, we're here today. Stick to Plan Podcast. I am Russ, and our guest today is
Is Harvey the Rabbit.
Lance Lashaway.
Oh.
Something about those Hillsdale guys. They're either late or don't show up at all.
Well, I think the problem is that, there's a legitimate chance you get stuck behind a farm tractor on your way here.
You can, or a dirt hauling semi,
Yeah.
because they haul a lot of dirt down.
And there's a
US
lot of
12.
troopers on 12.
They are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like to. Well, in Somerset, you got the Somerset cop, and
Right.
then out on the edges of Somerset, usually got a trooper snuggled in somewhere.
Yeah, and through Moscow.
And there's not a lot of criminal complaints going on, so they just pull you over, I guess.
Yeah, they're bored.
I do have a Hillsdale 911 type of page on my Facebook.
No, I'm in the
They
guest
do.
chair.
They do bust a lot of methy people.
Well, it is a methy area. It gets
It
methy
is
down
a
there,
little- And you can I doubt the cops profile down there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they don't profile at all.
You can pretty much spot a methy person just driving by.
Yeah, you're at least going to get a suspended license ticket out of it.
That's probably easy to do down there.
I'm betting.
Yeah.
Pretty regularly.
Yeah. Anyways, Lance Lashaway is supposed to be here. He said he's running about 10 minutes late. Kevin, you and I sat here and go, do we start the stream at 2:00? Because we're often late.
Yeah, we're often late,
But we're trying to set a new trend
trying to be
where
better.
we'll just
trying to be
start
better
at 2:00. So we'll do the unprofessional TV thing and just have him walk in the door. And
Yeah.
have him sit down.
Hey, just do it.
No big deal to me. He's here now.
Speak of the devil.
Made it.
You made it. You're only 4 minutes late. We started without you, but
Hillsdale in the house.
all right.
The roads connect barely, but it's only been a couple years since the roads connect.
Yeah, you used to have to take a trolley.
Well, they put obstacles in the way.
Oh, let me turn your mic on.
Turkeys, road construction.
Be in there a little bit. Scooch up.
Yeah, you can move that mic as much as you
There
need to,
you
Lance.
go.
There we go.
And where's Lance? Is he in the picture somewhere?
I'm working on it right
Oh,
now.
I get it.
There he is.
Hiding.
Ayo.
So, anyways, we said we're going to start on time and just have Lance flop in, and that's exactly what Lance has done. And by the way, the background picture, you were on the fly trying to find it real quick yesterday. I was trying to explain to Scott McMahon that I took that picture a year ago spring on the tarmac of, the Saginaw Airport. And it was hot spring day, but windier and shit. That's why we had those cool flags blowing back there. But that shot, I maybe I shouldn't think this way, is looks like Butler, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, you said that last
It's the
week.
same
that
thing.
last week.
And now, what do I need to do? I need to come over here.
That's
Yeah,
the one
I
we
gotta-
had on
I gotta
last
get
time,
in
right
it a
there.
little bit.
Oh, fuck. Or I'll just
Holy
check the shit on the
smokes!
camera, no big
Shut her down! Shut her down! Technical difficulties.
Yeah, well, I'm good at it.
we do have a professional studio, but you do have to be careful of a couple things.
Well, you have to be
Lance.
professional to work a professional studio.
Only thing that makes it professional is it's more professional than it was downstairs.
I spent a lot
in
more
our old
money on it.
Yeah. But you and I were talking about whatever the process is, if it's the cameras or if it's the software, to get the switcheroo. So I'd be talking, it'd just be me. And then when Lance says something, it would flick to Lance,
That's
so
fancy.
I know those cool guys like Garrett Soldano and stuff. That's what they do.
Yeah, well, the big thing is too also that you're gonna have to pay your producer more to be able to do that. So, oh wait, I pay me.
I need
to give myself a raise.
You need to be build value. That's right. This podcast is owned by Grandma's Boy Productions.
Yeah, so
And I don't even get no lunch money, and you probably get lunch money on it.
I don't get lunch money.
We have no topic today. We have a ton of topics, Lance, but nothing too specific. But we're going to jump right into the elephant in the room. Kevin, can you fit elephants in this room?
Give it a shot.
I think
Three of them.
I think there's one out in the event room. We'll bring it in.
Oh, I'm sure there's one.
So, welcome, Lance. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
What's going on US 12?
They got a lane shut down, filling in the cracks.
And then there was a farm tractor pulling a fucking trailer or something too. That was.
Oh, for sure.
Oh.
Funny thing is, I got stuck behind a Hillsdale County ambulance.
Those fuckers.
Oh,
Yeah.
they get what kind of ambulance they got down there? They got their own ambulance service that the municipalities pay for, or they got, up here we got the nonprofit Jackson Community Ambulance, and they have a partnership with Henry Ford.
They can be as
But at
nonprofit
least
as
the
they want.
municipalities aren't paying.
Yeah, they can be as nonprofit as they want, but they send me a lot of bills.
Down there, don't individual communities some have their own ambulance, like Addison? And
Yeah, our individual townships do. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
They
sub out with one another.
They sub out with one another, and then the county's involved.
Yeah.
And it's a quagmire of.
That's kind of the way I think it was originally designed, but then again, you got to pay.
Yes.
Where here, we don't pay for it in your taxes, but you pay for it when they pick you up.
Oh yeah,
See,
you do.
It's both in Hillsdale.
You get the double whammy.
Yeah,
you
you get
do.
to pay the taxes, and you get to pay when the ambulance comes.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Right.
Now Addison's in Lenawee, isn't it? Yeah, Addison
Yeah.
isn't barely into Lenawee. I just got a funny Addison story. Back when Kevin was a high schooler and he ran track, you'd have track meets down to Addison. 6 o'clock, the alarm horn goes off at the fire barn.
I remember this.
Holy shit, is there a tornado? Do we need to take cover? No, we blow that siren every day at 6 o'clock. Tell the farmers in the field that it's 6 o'clock.
That helps.
I says it's 2000. What year would it be, Kevin?
That had to have been 2004, 2005.
Yeah,
I mean,
2005.
maybe even a little
They're
earlier.
still
but-
blowing a siren down there. Let farmers know
yeah, because they don't have
that it's
watches.
6 o'clock, and it's probably dinner time, right, Lance? I'm sure that part of the fucking world
If
that
you're
you
going
lived in,
to dinner at 6 o'clock, you're doing pretty good for the day.
Ma's going to bring it out
Yeah.
to the field.
Or yell at you.
I know a lot of farm wives and people do that when it's harvest and planting time.
Oh yeah, you live in the
You don't
combine
stop.
and you live in the tractor.
Right.
and, yeah.
They'll bring you out. Here's some food.
If you're lucky, you got a cab.
You'll be like, you got what?
A cab.
Oh.
You're not out in the open.
Yeah.
You might even
Anymore.
have like air conditioner and stuff.
Anymore.
The fancy ones, they just.
Anymore. I don't know about the Lashaway farm what y'all had down
No, we
there,
didn't have cabs. No.
but- No. You said it the other day. You reminded me. I knew your grandpa, and you guys didn't have that, did you?
No, we had
Maybe.
one back in the day,
Yeah.
but yeah,
No, anymore. I always talk about, I don't veer off US 12 often. I do. I've had to
where's
go
it?
someplace, you get into the, back 40s of Hillsdale County. But as you're,
Whoa. Okay, we're
remember
good.
last week when I heard myself on the speaker, I thought, I got to change my voice. That sounds annoying.
Well, it is.
Anyways, the farmers with the windmills down there all got brand new shit.
Oh yeah, they got the fancy tractors with the you just hop in,
Yeah.
you push a button and you take a nap.
Yeah, give it a couple years, they'll have autonomous ones down there,
Yep.
cutting the corner around the windmills all by itself. But no, you drive down through there. Those farmers down there got the best of both worlds. They get the still farm, and then you get the windmill money.
Yeah.
They got nice tractors.
Just hobby farming at that point.
That's good for the John Deere dealer there in Jonesville.
Oh, yeah,
that's
I'm
been
sure.
nice for him.
I don't even think it's John Deere anymore. They sold out to
Ain't John Deere?
Green something.
Oh, one of my favorite. I don't know why. My favorite reels is a pig farmer in northeast Iowa. I guess that's pig farming is a big thing in Iowa. That's where most of the hogs come from. And
I thought they were corn.
I
corn
find it
huskers.
interesting, man.
No, Nebraska's corn huskers, right?
To me,
Doesn't matter.
to me, they got it made. They don't pay for the feed, nothing. They raise hogs to a certain weight. They come in as little piglets, cute as shit, and then they grow up, be a little old. When they get older, they're kind of assholes.
And then they're delicious.
And they get, I think the weight was 307 to 315, whatever. They all get packed on a truck and off they go. So to me, that's kind of easy farming. You don't pay for the pig, and you don't pay nothing. You just
I'm assuming you don't have much control though of anything
in your $1 million barns that you have them in. I mean, they have massive barns. I mean, the infrastructure for it. But to me, it's and then this guy always brags about how the manure is very valuable.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah. When you got a couple thousand hogs, and they have a process for the manure, that it's very valuable. Kind of interesting.
My favorite hog story was many years ago. Hauled some pigs for this dude. He had a junkyard. You know those old junkyards where they got the paths that you can barely walk down.
Yeah,
they're ancient.
Yeah.
And you can go back in time as you walk farther back.
Yes, you do, because right.
So they got this pig pen in the back, and they got 3 huge 1,000-pound hogs in this mud pit in the back of this old I forgot the word.
It's okay.
Right, old junkyard. So we had to get these pigs through the maze into the back of a trailer. 1,000-pound hogs. You're talking about 350-pound ones.
So, something this pig farmer was saying, that the pork industry screwed up a decade ago when they started advertising the other white meat. Okay. And that's when the pork producers started limiting weight at somewhere around 300 pounds. And they wanted a leaner cut of pork. But what that did is now it's gotten better. You got too lean of pork. You had no fat. They weren't fattening them up. And I remember bitching for the longest time. You couldn't get every pork chop there for a while was all boneless pork chops. Just
yeah, they're little tiny things.
But now you can finally get a pork chop at the grocery store with a bone in it. I don't know. I don't shop Meyer. I do. I do shop at Polly's, and they do have a meat guy. But yeah, you can finally get a pork chop with a bone in it. But same thing with watermelons. Can I get a watermelon with some seeds in it?
Watermelon seed is so much better.
Huh? Is that a thing anymore?
No.
You can, but they're expensive.
It seems like it was better.
Why
watermelon.
are they more expensive?
I have no idea. I'm not a watermelon farmer.
Yeah.
I
We
don't-
went
I-
from
I don't buy 'em.
hogs to watermelon. I eat pork
We're regressing.
once a week. Pork steak, pork chops. Can't go
I do
wrong.
love pork. I will say that.
Well, right now it's the best value in meat.
Oh, is it? I don't know.
Chicken's kind of high. Beef is
Yeah,
real high.
I know beef is.
I did buy some steaks last week. Whatever. You got to do it every now and then. Some ribeyes. You have to do
Oh
it.
yeah.
It don't matter what the cost.
Oh yeah. I bought a ribeye the other day just because I
have
wanted
to
one.
do it.
And it's,
But I can
didn't
buy,
even look at the price
me
tag.
and the
just
wife,
bought
I
it.
can buy, we really like pork steak on the grill. I buy 2 pork steaks for like $4.20.
Yeah.
That's it.
I was just talking to the lady. She said rabbit's the cheapest.
Oh, you know what?
I don't really like rabbit though.
I've been tempted to try. They're not cheap, but lamb chops.
I love lamb chops.
I've had them. I've never bought them and cooked them myself.
I don't like the texture.
The only
Oh,
place I've
that's
actually ever
good.
had them was in the strip club. To be honest with you.
They served them at the strip club.
Yeah, at Angels in Kalamazoo and at the Fight Club in Detroit.
Sounds
fancy.
yummy.
So yummy.
Let's talk about Axe My Tax.
Let's do that. There we go.
All right, Lance.
This should be fun.
Lance,
I-
did you
I've heard you
grab your
become an
Mike
expert.
Rogers T-shirt out here on the table? They're for free.
Can we swear on this show?
I set
Yeah, I
them
mean,
out
fuck.
for you. I did. I literally just set them
Oh,
out.
I was in a hurry getting in here. I just didn't see them. Damn.
I found some
Damn
Trump
it.
Force 47 shirts, and I threw them out Saturday. And then I went, oh, Lance's buddy Mike Rogers left some shirts when he was here last week or wherever it was. And so I put them out there too. And it says free, take one. And when I sat them out there, I thought of you, Lance.
Well, I do need some fire starters. That's good.
Anyways, free Trump shirts and Mike Rogers shirts right here at the Jackson GOP headquarters. Just come up and grab one.
You don't have to say hi.
No,
I wouldn't.
no, the people here I wouldn't say hi to.
No, I
No,
do.
you
Just,
should.
yeah.
Or somebody like that.
Yeah, I say hi to the volunteers just because I
Judy usually has like cookies or something.
well that when I'm walking in or out, I don't want them to have to hop up and see what's going on. You know.
Oh yeah, good call. Because you did that to me Saturday.
and I
you
didn't
didn't
know-
know I was in
no, I
there.
just pop in. Hi. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
and
do.
it was
Yeah,
pops. But anyway, so last week I went in kind of hard on the Mike Rogers, or yeah, that guy too, on the Axe My Tax thing. All right, I'm gonna start way back from the beginning. The first Axe My Tax Citizens Initiative. I signed the damn thing. I was not one of them circulating. I allowed people to circulate. I thought it was great. In the back, I'm one of these. If you're coming at us with a citizens initiative and wasting everybody's freaking time, you better come at it with a gob of money. I'm not saying that's the way it should be. It's just the way it is. Okay.
Amen.
Citizens initiatives take a lot of money to get across the line. So you're going to waste my time and all the Jackson GOP volunteers' times in every other county. Run around, eliminate property tax. That's my problem with it. Okay. I think citizens initiatives, unless you come at them with a lot of money, are a waste of time. Until that gets fixed, they're a waste of time. So that was the first time around. Second time, and the whole time I'm thinking, how are we going to replace the local funding? Okay,
Buckets.
listen, local government needs to do some trimming. No one denies that. All right. But I do enjoy, well, sewer separate. I do enjoy public safety, especially where I live. I do enjoy we talk drains come up. You said that in your neck of the woods, these people are paying for their own drains. We got drain commissioner. They pay kind of for drains, although they're short on money right now. There's a lot of services to pay. How's it going to pay? No one could ever explain that fully to me, and that'd always be in the back of my mind. And so this time around, I said, I'm not even signing it, but I accommodate. You can sign Axe My Tax petitions here at Jackson GOP headquarters. You know, that's cool. But then Scott McMahon come on, along with Matt Wilk. First Scott talked about it, then he brought Matt Wilk on. Matt Wilk talked about the shortfall. I think it's $17 billion.
17 billion. Yeah.
If the way they restructure it, $17 billion is short.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, local governments have to trim up. I don't think they can trim up that much.
That's a lot of money.
But the more that I got thinking about it, and they think this is the most Republican thing there is due to eliminate taxes, Lance, and I know you agree. I get it. But the great conservative Republican thing to do is not give it to Lansing. Local government controls those taxes collected. Me as a township trustee, county commissions. All right, the money comes in, comes in. Some things have to be paid for, required, this, that, and other. Then us as a board, we decide, oh, we're going to buy a new fire truck. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this, whatever it is. We decide. If that is controlled under the situation that they're describing they want to do with the excise tax, tobacco tax, whatever the list is. All right. That's going to be controlled by Lansing. To me, that is not good government.
It is an expansion of government.
I do not want to give any more authority to Lansing.
A lot of it's already controlled by Lansing, even though you're not going to be giving away your control. See, why is giving away your ability to steal from property owners losing control of your local government? That doesn't make sense to me.
Why should a township board even exist? If that township board that you elected and you can contact directly, you can even go knock on their door. Why should we exist if we're not the ones saying, the ones that you guys elected, where and how the money's spent?
How are you going to uphold the Constitution and property rights for each individual if there is no board that exists?
Well, there's the
because
big thing
that's the foundation of government. Is
playing devil's advocate here. In the Constitution, it doesn't really say anything about property tax. Property tax predates
the Constitution,
the federal government.
The federal government.
And I'm not as up as I probably should be on it, but I'm not sure where it says that.
Long before there was unconstitutional income tax, there was property tax.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is
so we used to bloodlet people when they was sick and put leeches on them and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We should go back to that.
We did that a long time ago too.
They still put leeches on people. I've seen it. It's still a treatment for.
What doctor you go to?
For like major universities.
We still have property tax too.
Yeah, exactly. But
not saying it's right.
Yeah. I think John said something. He's like, well, slavery was immoral, but it was it was necessary. And he said that in the chat, and I didn't have time to address it. But was it though? Was slavery necessary? No, we've done fine without slavery. So I understand what you're saying. But we've never known a world without the property tax, and I think that he's right in the fact that could we have figured it out? We can figure it out, but it does take away our local control, which expands our state and federal government control over us. They're the ones now giving us the budget for our sin taxes, our all that stuff. The budget that the local people or the local boards, the local stuff, they have to sit and wait for the state to put their shit together and come up with a budget before they can fund parks, schools.
They do that now.
My treasurer collects our money.
Schools are waiting for a budget right now.
Yes,
but
that's my
it's
point.
Controlled by the state.
So that's my point. It's already happening. So
well,
what are you going?
Why do we want to make it worse?
How are you making it worse?
Okay, the schools. The state Senate went home without passing a budget. No budget. We're at home. We're on vacation. Senator Lindsey's, he's down in Tennessee visiting his grandfather. I don't know. They didn't pass a budget.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the schools in limbo, like you just said, where they can't pass their budget for the 2025-2026 school year. This has happened before. They're like, hey, what are we supposed to do? We're waiting on Lansing. Currently, under the structure with local government, we don't have to wait for Lansing. The money comes in to the township treasurers, the county treasurers. We pay the state required stuff because they're out there. And then the rest of that money, we control how it's going to be spent. I'm not saying we've done a fantastic job at spending that money over the years.
Well, you're going to control the money that Lansing collects and sends you. So I'm assuming that you're talking about if there is a sales tax introduced to offset.
Oh no!
By the way,
all the taxes, like you said, the sin tax, alcohol, and the
all that comes from the state right now.
Marijuana excise. We never even talked about that. Would that
we
go to
wait
the state?
for the state to give us that?
Yep.
Now, I guess the question, I think, to clear this up, at least in my head, you would know when you sit down and do your own township budget. What items are on that budget? Parks. Like, I mean, yes. I don't know.
So unfortunately, we pay, I think, $100K a year on a park. The maintenance of all three parks, the maintenance of the cemeteries. If we wanted to do roads would be in there. My township refuses to stick a dime into roads. Public safety. The list goes on and on. Oh, my pay, the supervisor's pay, the administrator's pay, the assessing department's pay. By the way,
So
wait, I'm going to throw a bone out for the Axe My Tax people. Do you know if we did eliminate property taxes, we could get rid of the whole assessing department? I think Leone has 4 or 5 people over there.
Oh, I didn't think
how
about that.
many
And
departments?
wouldn't
how
you be able
much-
to get rid of all assessors without property
Well,
tax?
yeah, you would need
See,
it.
that's another thing. So the 17 billion. or
I'll give
whatever
them that.
How much can you cut? Because I didn't hear any discussion on how much could be cut, and you're just like, there's a lot of things that could be cut from government.
But
Yes, there
we
can.
do not need.
Well, and that was
I
my
will
argument,
agree.
is that I think that doing this will force the government to cut.
Exactly.
But
That's what they
17
want.
billion is a lot. And actually, when you said public safety, that brings up, I think that puts it in a better realm.
Now that's in a millage, but still part of the budget.
But yeah, but I think it puts it in a better realm. So if
Well, that's how the
Everything, all
if-
property taxes.
if
are
the
millage,
state-
one
That's
way or another.
exactly
if the
it.
state goes on their summer break or whatever, and they haven't passed a budget for Leone Township, and the cops don't get paid, so do we not have public safety now? For however long we're waiting for the state.
Technically,
I mean,
by the-
I know that's that's far reach, but it's possibility.
Lance, you mentioned covering the $17 billion with sales tax, for example. They're going to get the money one way or another.
Yeah.
Right. You can eliminate property tax. They're going to tax it somewhere. They're going to get it somewhere.
Well, they're not.
But do you
gonna-
know if it
they're
was
not
in-
going to get it through government force, though?
Okay, we're going to get to that. But I haven't done the math. I'm not a mathematical guy like this. But
Mhm.
what Matt Milk says, if you were to eliminate property tax in order to cover that $17 billion shortfall, and let's say you wanted to get it in sales tax, your sales tax would have to be 30%. They're never going to do that.
I dove deeper into that, and you're looking at more like 13 to 15%,
Yeah.
which is unheard
but
of.
still, that's
Well,
double what it is.
The exaggeration. So if what you're finding is more true, which is more what I would,
Which you couldn't
more
do,
in the
you
realm
wouldn't
of
wanna do.
reality. By the time, let's just say you can cut government in half by doing this, because I'm pretty sure you could cut half the budget of government
Mm.
by doing this. So then you're talking about like a 6% tax,
We're at 6%.
and we're at 6%. Where does that go, by the way?
By the way, Kevin, you were correct. I think it's 1994.
Mhm.
They went from
4 to 6.
4 to 6%. And that 2% was supposed to cover for schools.
Mhm.
And that was a constitutional amendment. Well, apparently constitutional amendments don't mean shit
Well,
Clearly,
because it hasn't helped
they
school
collected
funding.
and it didn't. Yeah, it's supposed to school funding and in the long term property tax really, and it just never did. It
You-
was
you
like,
know
oh,
what
never mind.
happens?
That
Well,
2%.
You
just
provide
became-
more funding, they absorb it into more, and they make it
Yeah.
bigger, they make it more.
and another thing, in Hillsdale County, we've got quite a few schools, and all of our schools are down tremendously on students.
Mhm.
Like,
Well, they've got to be going somewhere, unless your population is shrinking.
well, I think maybe population. Well, homeschooling for one.
It
big
is.
thing,
That's
especially in
significant.
Hillsdale.
After COVID, a lot of kids
I
never.
homeschooled my
homeschooled.
kids during COVID.
That is
My
significant.
kids are homeschooled. Yeah.
and a lot of people never went back. So we got all this infrastructure and all these teachers and all this staff and all this stuff. Consolidate it. I'm sure Hillsdale County's not the only one.
All right.
I agree.
No, you're
So we're
You're so
talking
right.
We're talking 6%. Then we're down to 6%. Now what are we down to? Like 3-4% on top of the already 6.
Oh, it will never go down. I can almost guarantee you.
Well,
I've never seen taxes go down.
guarantee you.
Oh no, I mean if they was to create a new sales tax
Oh, I see
for
what you're saying.
this.
Guarantee you.
Okay. I understand.
We all know this. They're going to try to cover that shortfall one way or another. Might be an income tax, might be in sales tax, might be a combination of both. They might up this sin taxes, packs of cigarettes, liquor, beer. They're going to do everything they can to cover that shortfall. So really, where are you saving? When you get down to the emotional problem here, listen, all tax is theft.
Mhm.
I'm not disagreeing. All tax is theft.
Only property tax is taken with government force.
Well,
Lance,
but
don't pay your income tax. Tell me what they come take.
Don't pay your sales tax.
They'll take
and
your
you're
property.
shoplifting,
If you don't pay your income tax,
and you're
they-
going to jail by government force. All taxes are taken by government force.
Oh, if you don't pay your state income tax, they will take your property, your cars. They will levy your bank account. One thing about property tax, they won't levy your bank account. They won't take your other property. They only take that property. Try not paying your income tax and see what the state does.
So income tax is just as
They
bad.
can take the home you're living in.
Yeah, all taxes are the same. Like I said,
So can they with property tax?
That's right. So
Let's get
why
rid
is
of
it?
income tax
Okay,
too.
hold on to me. Why do we want to be the pioneers of the elimination of property tax when we have seen that successful states, successful states, have started with the elimination of income tax?
Florida.
Why are we going to create the wheel here in Michigan? By the way, we're not that smart of a state. It's been proven on how our government operates.
We created the
So
Republican Party.
we want to create the wheel and be the first state to eliminate property tax
Why not?
with $17 billion shortfall out the gate.
That's
Where Tennessee and Florida, and I believe Texas and others have already proven success with the elimination of income tax. Because what tax is worse, income tax, property tax? You want to go on, well, Granny's going to lose her home. If Granny or somebody don't pay your income tax, they're going to come take your shit.
Same with property tax.
Same.
Oh, yeah.
Thing is the only thing they take with property tax is your property. They're not going to levy your income. They're not going to take your cars, your snowmobiles, and your boats or whatever else you might have of value. It is only attached to your property. I'm not saying this is good by no means. But why is property tax the evil one?
So we
compared
have
to income tax?
We have a massive homeless issue in America, do we not?
We sure do.
Especially in Hillsdale County.
I've seen
especially in Jackson.
I've
You
seen
go
it
any
explode.
town you go through, there are homeless everywhere. You ever talk to them?
I try not to.
Yeah.
We've all known someone homeless,
Yeah.
not laying on the curb. I haven't, but I've known homeless.
I was
people.
technically homeless for a year.
Yeah, technically, you were,
I mean, not, but I was.
You
How
had
many,
a roof over your head.
how many
but-
lose their home because they can't pay their property tax? The government steals their house from them.
I'll tell you, more than likely, the homeless people you see on the street didn't pay their frickin' rent. Lance, you're a landlord,
Oh yeah,
I've
I'm not
been a
disagreeing
landlord.
with that.
and it isn't because sure there's the sob story where all of a sudden I'm homeless because I lost my home to property tax, but most of it isn't that. It's drug abuse, mental health problems,
Well, if you can get
and
rid
you
of
didn't
20%,
pay the rent in a shitty apartment you had, and finally landlord had to kick you out, and your friends and family don't want you because you're a piece of shit. Did I say that out loud?
Well, I've been.
You have problems. They're done with you.
I think
so. Now you're on the street.
I think I've said it on the show. And another streamer friend of mine said it. Do you know how many bridges you have to burn to be totally homeless on
To
the
where
street?
your mama won't let
Yeah,
you
your
in?
mom. You don't have a friend you can crash on the couch. Nothing. That no one trusts you. No one wants you in their house. Like there's a lot of bridges to burn. Now that's completely off topic from
It is.
property tax, because also rent has a lot to do with property
Well, not
tax.
really,
It
'cause
does.
You could burn a lot of bridges and still have your property
Yeah, but then you're not part of the homeless problem.
Right.
until the government wants its money.
Yeah, then you burn that bridge.
That's right. Don't pay your income. Don't pay your income tax. They can take that property too.
You know,
I don't understand that argument because it's just as bad.
It's horrible. Okay.
Why not get rid of both?
this
yes.
country was built
Well,
on
okay.
the Boston Tea Party, the whole idea of no taxation, all representation, no taxes. That's literally what the Revolutionary War started on.
But here we are.
But here we are, and I think it's
Tax more than ever.
a necessary evil, but it is an evil nonetheless.
Why are we putting up with necessary evils?
Lance, our good friend John Rutan did a presentation here. You know how John is. Whatever the topic was, doesn't matter. John does a great job. That presentation here. Somehow the subject got on the Federal Reserve. We all hate the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve shouldn't exist. We all get it. And the topic got talking about it. John Rutan said out loud, "Yep, we should abolish the Federal Reserve." You know he would say that. But guess what? You can't just pull the plug and abolish the Federal Reserve because society will collapse. It's got to be done in a slow manner. Same thing with,
Society isn't collapsing
let's
right now.
pull the plug on property tax and income tax. People would die in the street. You think there's a problem with homelessness now? Wait until you do that.
You know, many people I know who don't work, who don't.
How do we rely on the government so much to where we have to fund it?
Because we've fucked this up for the last 50 years.
Yeah, so why
and
we
we're
keep
in a
funding it?
spot to where we rely on the government. We have to
Why?
figure out.
How?
I know this. We're part of this problem, part of the system. It's too far gone. If you just pull the plug, society will collapse. You have to go at this at a reasonable effort to reduce property tax,
So,
reduce
I've
income
heard
tax,
that
or
my
eliminate.
entire life. I'm 42 years old.
Here we are. I know. So
Um,
you're so
my-
desperate that you're ready to just pull the plug and have a $17 billion shortfall.
I don't think desperate would be the proper word. I would think
Pissed off.
fed up
Fed up.
over it. Because all you hear is, well, we need to do this. I mean, all you hear is
I know.
talk. All you hear is talk, and all I've heard is talk. Now, all of a sudden, there's this movement to where, hey, let's do it. Is it perfect? No. Is what we're dealing with right now perfect? Hell no. And nobody will say what we're dealing with right now is perfect. So
God, no.
if our solution has to be perfect, we'll never get it done. And that's what I've seen my entire life. We are waiting for perfect. Perfect will never happen.
Don't we like the way Tennessee and Florida are operating? Wouldn't you say that's probably the best model in our country right now?
That's not what people are pushing for.
I get that, but it has been proven to work. Now, DeSantis, he's talking about now, since the elimination of income tax has been so successful for his state, he's talking about the elimination of property tax now.
Yeah.
But his state legislature, which is controlled by Republicans, are in the same situation we're talking about now. They don't think it's ready, and that proposal failed. Isn't that DeSantis has given up on it? Okay. I think it could be a talking point on DeSantis.
Well, they actually got rid of income tax first.
That's right. That's
we're
my
doing
point.
We're doing it the other way around. One or the other.
I say income.
Well, everybody else is saying property.
Let's go back to this. You don't pay your property taxes. They come and they take the property that you didn't pay the taxes on.
Right.
It's gone.
Right.
You don't pay your income tax. They can take that. They can take your cars, your snowmobiles, your boats, anything of value. Levy your income from your bank account, guarantee your wages, all that. I think the elimination of income tax is more appropriate and more targeted, and it's more severe if you do not pay your income tax than it is if you don't pay your property tax. Both are horrible. Nobody wants to lose nothing. Have you had your wage ever guaranteed? It sucks.
Not yet.
Yeah, I know. All right. I, like I said, last week went in pretty hard. It's my opinion. I have come to the conclusion that I am not going to change the hearts and minds of these people who support the elimination of property tax.
Nope.
Nor are they going to change my mind. I had a call from one of the vice chairs of the Michigan GOP. Doesn't matter to me. Saying, hey, Russ, maybe hold up. Don't go in so hard. He goes, this is a grassroots movement, and it's good for a grassroots movement. And it could be the ballot initiative on the 2026 ballot that brings out the voters, that people who voted for Trump that usually sit home during midterms.
Exactly.
Okay. Democrats do it all the time.
I talked to Chris Long, too. He totally said we could say his name.
Right.
Chris Long is awesome, by the way, if you're listening, Chris.
Chris Long so far is okay. He's walking a fine line with Russ right now. Okay, whatever. Doesn't mean that I'm throwing him.
He walks fine line with everybody, but he walks that line pretty good from what I see.
Yeah, he's a pretty good talker. But anyways, so I disagree. I don't think it. I think my neighbors who are not politically involved like me, who all voted for Trump, first thing to say, how are we gonna operate? How are we gonna do this? And Lance, you're right. God darn, how did we get to this point where we rely on government so much? I don't care how we got here. We're here. Mm-hmm. And that is going to be their concern. I also think Democrats who love to spend money, who love their schools, are going to double, triple down on their rhetoric that this Republican-led initiative is going to ruin our society, and children are not going to be able to go to school. They're going to play it against us. I don't think it's the citizens' initiative that we're looking for. I think the citizens
this
initiative
this
is more on the you got to be a citizen to vote.
This isn't 5 years ago or 3 years ago, and the Democrat Party. I don't think anybody, including Democrats, listen to the Democrat Party anymore. They just canceled Stephen Colbert in the.
You're right,
in the
Lance.
Tonight Show. Like they're circling the drain, and we need to stop being concerned about what Democrats have to say.
You think the Democrats are just going to sit by?
I really don't care what the Democrats are doing because they're
not going to spend gobs of money to ruin this initiative. Any candidate
don't think
that rolls
they can organize anymore.
Don't count them out.
I don't count them out, but I don't think that they're the big boogeyman that they used to be.
I agree too. Listen, one thing that's always bothered me, you Republicans, you guys, we fight all the time, and Democrats are always in lockstep, and they don't do that bullshit. They do.
Yeah.
They do. They look at
what they're better lockstep than us. Even when they're disorganized, they're still in better lockstep.
That's what y'all always say. I bet you they say that about us. Plus, we're in our echo chamber, being insiders in this game. My neighbors, they don't know we're sitting here fighting about this. All they know is, blop, there's a citizens initiative. Blop, there's a candidate to vote for.
Yeah.
That's
true.
They don't know if the Democrats, I know locally the Jackson Democrats are a hot mess, have been long before the last election.
Hillsdale doesn't even have a Democrat Party. They got like 3 people.
I think they're going to use it against us, and I think they're going to bash our candidates using it too. That's what I fear.
Our own people bash our candidates.
And then
why do we care if Democrats bash our candidates? Our own people do.
I think Chris also brought up something that, right now it's got grassroots people activated, and that will continue into 2026.
Because it's the right thing to do.
I'm going to tell you something. What happened in 2024? The people who were pushing for Axe My Tax didn't show up around here in the Trump Force 47 campaign anywhere. Not a one of them. They were so focused on Axe My Tax, they did not help Trump get elected. They did not help our state reps get elected. And I'm pissed about it. That's why I almost knocked the microphone into Kevin's head. It did not work.
Did the Trump people reach out to them?
They knew where we are. 2 of them were super active.
There was people in here. There were people in here every day making phone calls.
I was too busy getting Trump elected to worry about why these individuals are out doing something else. I don't know if they don't know how to walk and chew gum at the same time. Maybe Chris is correct here. If you can teach these people to walk and chew gum at the same time, maybe you're onto something. I didn't see it in the last election cycle. The Axe My Tax people were only on Axe My Tax, and they didn't help do shit on other things. At least in Jackson.
Yeah,
but nobody reached out to him.
Well, no, there was people in here every day.
They're on my executive committee.
Yeah, every single day.
And did they sense a hostility towards Axe
Not
My
at all,
Tax?
because we were all supportive of Axe My Tax the first time around. I kept my mouth shut.
What changed?
When I am elected in a township, the people elected me and 6 other people our main purpose is to control our budget. Yes, it's bloated. Yes, it's out of control. But guess what? I got to sit there with 6 other people and decide how we're going to spend this money. Mm-hmm. Once that's out of our hands, good luck. Have you ever testified in front of a House subcommittee hearing or a Senate subcommittee hearing? You got to drive to Lansing, find a place to park. You got to find the room you got to be into. You're out in front of a whole bunch of senators or state reps, and you got to present your case. Now you can come to any township and express your concern of how this should go. I'm going to bring up another example. The weeks leading into approving our township budget, I didn't get one phone call from one constituent. We have a public hearing prior to the vote on that budget. By the way, I was the only no vote. Not one person spoke up during the public hearing comment. Why? Because they didn't want to take the time and read the budget that was this thick.
They're too busy going to work trying to pay for the house. They're too busy going to work trying to pay for the house that the government's trying to steal from them.
I guess so. 30 people were in the room, but no one seemed to care about the budget.
Getting people to speak. I don't like to speak. I don't like being on this podcast. I don't like talking in front of people.
You do pretty good, though, once you're here.
You're not doing it.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting a little more comfortable with it. But I'm pretty stubborn.
You've got plenty to say.
And I do a lot of reading and research into this. I take the time to do it. I've done it my whole life.
Actually, sometimes you're kind of exhausting.
Yeah.
Right.
So are you.
Yeah.
That's why we get along so well.
I second to both of those.
I don't know, guys.
But the thing is, for somebody to actually sit down and understand all of this crap
right.
is a type of insanity.
Well,
We're kind of crazy, Russ.
for me, I get it. I get the budget is an inch thick. I got 2 weeks to read it, and I read it line by line, page for page. I am not a budget-oriented guy. It's not my thing.
Well, and
my wife even pays our bills in our household.
Well, there's different.
But I still read it and tried to absorb in as much as I can and had some concerns here and there. They went on unheard. It doesn't matter. Like I said, I was the only no vote on our budget. Primarily, though, because they didn't let me have any input creating that budget. None.
Well,
okay.
How did
Township budgets are created this way. This, as the year goes on, me as a trustee, I just went to my first meeting in December, but I could throw things at them to suggest to go in the budget, this, that, maybe I'll do that in the upcoming year. But your supervisor, your treasurer, your primary people, like in my township, those are full-time employees. You got administrator, you got accountants. They kind of take the books from the previous year, plop them down, say, okay, we need this much more money to pay for this shit. And then we've added this stuff. There's the budget. Okay. I'm retired. All right. Township trustees, county commissioners, most of them work jobs. I know in Hillsdale, maybe not, but most have full-time jobs.
They just sit on boards to make money in Hillsdale. That's all they do there.
I know my board, I take Commissioner Kennedy. You're working full-time. I've worked full-time. Yes, you're elected, but you don't have time to help write that budget this thick.
Mm-hmm.
You pay people to do that.
Right.
But then again, that's where the problem lies.
Yeah, you're
bureaucrats.
The bureaucrats are a massive problem, and the people that are in charge of the bureaucrats don't know how to control their bureaucrats and tell them what to do. Nobody on a board, I guarantee nobody on your board said to the bureaucrats, hey, go through that budget and cut a quarter of it. I guarantee those words have never left somebody's mouth.
Definitely not.
Listen, I almost asked them when I voted no. What's that?
Can I have one of those?
I almost asked when I voted no. I almost said, hey, guys, I'm going to vote no because I would like to see a reduction of at least 2%. There's never a reduction. There's always
that's
an
what I
increase.
said. Yeah,
you go line by line. Everything we did, paper for the printer, right? There's an increase. Ink for the printer, there's an increase. Cleaning of the building, there's an increase. We have employees, DPW employees that get 3%. What do you call that? Every year.
Yeah.
A COLA. You got to pay your employees. But everything, nothing went down.
No,
nothing went down. But wouldn't that be nice? Could you throw us a bone and save us 2%? All right. One more thing before. Well, I will say, people need to know me enough. I'll move on to something else. I told Chris Long on the phone Saturday. I said, "Listen, I'll tap out."
That's no fun. I want to change your mind.
I know, but people kept responding because I did. I took a Berrien County. Does not make me a troll. Todd Gilman called me a troll.
He might be a troll.
They put a video out, pro Axe My Tax. That whole county committee is about Axe My Tax. But within the video, their secretary, who I don't know, she seems like a cool person. I'd probably get along with her well. Twice she said, hey guys, even if you're against Axe My Tax or don't know enough about it, please just sign the petition so we can get it on the ballot. And my first response, my thought was, and I shared the post and put my wording in there. If that's the case, all of us should sign the ranked choice voting petition just so they get it on the ballot so people can decide. Don't gaslight me with shit like that.
See,
do not sign a petition if you don't know what it's about.
Here's the thing about that. Where is ranked choice voting coming from? I don't know.
Oh, I had the girl here.
How about we just eliminate petitions and we just put it on the ballot and let everybody decide from
Well, there'd be 500 of them on there.
there? Okay,
You
well,
would-
if we all sign all
you
the
know.
petitions,
Listen,
Well, here's the thing.
it's
This is
come
part
from
of
an
it.
NGO somewhere. It's not
Mhm.
organic through the Democratic
Exactly.
Party or
It's
nothing.
completely different than what the Axe My Tax thing is.
I
And
get
the
that.
Axe My Tax thing,
Very different.
all Republicans should be behind this thing.
No, they don't. Listen,
Why not?
why do I have to be?
So here's an interesting, and you're gonna love this.
Mhm.
Why do I have to be behind Mike Rogers?
You don't. Not at all.
That's not what I've been told my entire life, Russ. Come on.
Chris Long in the chat says ranked choice is coming from the Libertarian Party and the Dems.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
So where was that? We had the girl from Michigan Fair Elections here. She mentioned.
One second, because
Oh,
I
right.
want to hit on that. I've been involved in the Republican Party for quite a while now, and all I'm told by people that have been in the Republican Party, here's our candidate. I don't care what he's for. He's a Republican. You get behind them. Now all of a sudden, all those people that say that, have said that, and continue to say that, are like, well, you don't have to be behind Axe My Tax. You can be against it if you want, even though it's Republican conservative principles and ideals. You don't have to be behind that. But Mike Rogers, you have to be behind Mike Rogers.
It sounded like a riddle, Lance.
It is a riddle.
No, and
It's a
I know what
conundrum.
he's saying because, and Russ, you've been a big proponent of that exactly. In the, like, hey, it's the Republican candidate, we got to rally behind him. And see, I my outside standpoint on that is, if I don't understand or if I don't care about a particular thing, I won't sign the petition. Like, for example, things that don't affect me, gay marriage. I won't sign a petition for gay marriage because I don't care either way.
I think government should be
Abortion.
completely out of
I don't
marriage.
care either
Right.
way. I
See
mean,
how our
are
bedroom-
those things that they're Republican ideals? Absolutely. But I'm not even going to sign it. We'll figure that out later. And Axe My Tax to me is in that where I'm like, I don't fully understand it because I see the fight of why not having income tax property tax would be excellent. But I also see where it would be a serious problem just pulling the plug. I see it both ways. And so I won't sign the petition. I'm got no ambition to do so.
So here's the thing that I don't know, and I couldn't find any information on it, and you guys didn't discuss
Fight
it.
like hell for your candidate in the primary. I don't care if it's Mike Rogers or whoever it is. Whoever wins that primary, the Republican Party, you can be a Republican or part of the Republican Party. If you're going to be part of the Republican Party, you have to support the nominee. You don't have to put yard signs in your yard. You don't have to walk in their goddamn parades. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be part of the Republican Party, I feel you have to support the nominee. Not be a Republican. I have neighbors that are Republicans that aren't part of the party, Lance.
But you don't have to support a petition that is rooted in Republican and conservative ideology and principle.
By the way, how's come this isn't a bipartisan petition? Democrats pay
Democrats are
property.
insane. Who cares what Democrats have?
Okay, but that's half of the voting block.
No, it's not. Not anymore.
Okay, if it's 40%,
Who cares?
you want their support, don't you?
No, they're
Because of guys
insane.
like me that aren't
why
going to
do I
vote for
want
that.
why do I want the support of an insane person? I don't.
Well, I get that.
I want the rational, logical minded, good hearted individuals who understand that we need to do actual good things like not use the government to steal from people to be on board with something and actually push for it. That's all that's being asked.
This is
And the consequences of that we'll have to deal with.
You don't like my analogy about the Federal Reserve and pulling the plug on the Federal Reserve? You don't think there's serious consequences of pulling the plug and having a $17 billion shortfall on society?
So
We ruined this in the last 50
that's my
years.
next question. That's what I was trying to get to. So
I think there's a slow process to it.
The petition says there's a slow process to it because it says
I will
once
agree.
this is passed,
2 years.
taxes can no longer be levied.
All right.
So all the taxes that are currently on the book are going to slowly phase out. No new ones can be entered.
Right.
So this isn't going to be an automatic pull the plug.
It's a 2-year thing for legislature to figure out.
It's going to be even more than 2 years.
Right.
That's the next thing. So this whole fear-mongering scare tactic over it's pulling the plug. It's not pulling the plug. It's going to take 10, 20 years for this to
It's
even
not going to be good.
remotely phase out.
I think when it comes down to it,
I got a
There's
question.
There's millages on the books that are for 10 and 20 years.
I got a question that I didn't ask McMahon. I thought of it the last time around with Axe My Tax. Okay. All these millages that our communities are under, which I hate every one of them. I can't tell you the last time I voted yes on a millage. Matter of fact, on the township board I serve on, I voted no on the renewal, wasn't an increase, but a renewal for our public safety because it was on a May ballot. Okay. I think they have to be on midterms and presidential elections. That's a slow roll how to roll this back. But my point here is all these millages that these communities live under right now, the voters did approve them. Whether they were snaked in on low voter turnout ballots or not, the voters, the democratic process, okay, of voting. I get it. There's a difference between Democrat process and a republic. But when you vote, it's a democratic process. All right?
Yeah, it's a democratic process in a republic.
You
cannot.
Yes, I agree. We're not going down that rabbit hole. Please hear me out. Okay. You're going to tell me the voters of that community voted for all this crap. And now you're going to say my word and my vote is no good no more. We're going to eliminate that. How is that good for the people? Some people love paying property taxes.
The difference between a republic and a democracy, and the democracy that you're talking about, is in a republic, you cannot vote to take somebody's stuff away.
Okay, I get it.
In a democracy, the majority of voters, only the ones that turn out also, can vote to take your stuff away. That's what we are living under right now.
Okay, how? I get it.
Well, are we Republicans?
When we
Republic?
elect trustees in a township, the majority of the voters pick that trustee.
Okay.
Okay. Isn't that the term democracy? The democracy determined by the most number of votes.
Yeah, we use the democratic process to pick our representatives.
Okay.
Who then in turn represent
but we shouldn't
us
use
in a
the
republic.
democratic process to take other people's shit away. You got a good point, Lance.
I know I have a good point because I've had this crammed in my head by people like John Rutan,
and to play devil's advocate real quick,
like hundreds.
Technically, us voting to repeal property tax is voting to take people's stuff away.
You've got a point, Kevin.
Because the big thing about, and I've done an excessive amount of research through the Ask My Tax website, things like that. You know, these things that the extra funding that maybe we think is stupid, but like for pickleball courts and splash pads and stuff, we're taking that away.
How can you steal?
So the
majority take that away.
The majority of the people are going.
How can you steal what was already stolen?
It doesn't matter. 2 wrongs don't make a right.
Oh.
If you stole it from him and I steal it from you,
this is where Lance gets exhausting.
So, if there is a robber,
mm-hmm.
Go steal your.
Are
shit
you
back.
saying you shouldn't stop the robber?
No, I'm just saying if I steal it if the robber steals it from you and I steal it from the robber, possession is 9/10 of the law. I'm going to jail. There's a law called receiving stolen property.
Do you want to live in that country?
We live in that country right now.
Do you want to?
I don't think that we have a choice because the thing is
we do have a choice. You can sign a petition and we can put this on the ballot.
Yeah, but you pass a law, but you're talking about criminals.
Axe My Tax just stole my splash pad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now that's
in order to get that splash pad, you had to steal from somebody to get it.
Good point.
Right. So two rights make a wrong, or two wrongs make a right.
It's not wrong.
Isn't it the voting democracy that's going to approve?
It's not wrong to uphold your rights. That's not wrong.
Well, it's technically. I mean, again.
And the thing is, our representatives that we vote for using the democratic process, they swear an oath to the Constitution to uphold our rights, to uphold that Constitution. They get into that office and they don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They let the bureaucrats do it.
I know.
So we are not following we're not keeping our republic. We're not keeping it. We're letting the bureaucrats run it. We're letting the government steal from us.
Right.
We're letting it all happen. And then when people stand up and they say no more, we have to fight our own people in order to get it on the ballot.
Right. See, I think
I'd rather fight the insane Democrats.
What we're doing is we're mucking it all up, and this is where I see both sides of it. Is because where Russ is absolutely correct is, regardless, taking away property taxes immediately means the state control. So we're making the state government bigger.
That's my biggest problem.
Which in turn making the federal government bigger. And
do we not control the state government?
We don't.
Why not?
They do what they want. They're on vacation right now while there's a budget not passed.
I don't want to give any more authority to the state government. As most local as we can get to as possible.
Our local government is just as bad as our state government.
Okay, but my constituents know where I live. They can knock on my door. They can call my phone. I'm easier to contact than my state rep. I can get a hold of my state rep right now, but most people can't. And I'm not saying that's right. It is the truth. Not to say that my state rep isn't accessible. You email, and her workers email you back.
Do you start fixing it on the local level, the state level, or the federal level?
You got to start. If it's grassroots, that's local level. Right?
So why are we not pushing this? Because it's local level, it's grassroots.
But you're taking control from your local government. Am I wrong? I mean, it will take control. The government
should not be in control of your property.
But do you want
are in control?
Do you want the state to be in control of your property, or your local, or your neighbor?
You don't have to worry about it. There's no property tax. You don't have to worry about anybody controlling your property.
Exactly. That is the exact
unless
point.
You don't pay your income tax, and they'll just take it that way.
Then go after income tax.
And income tax is
this is a totally separate argument.
Constitutional rights. Income tax is the only thing mentioned in the Constitution.
If we take away
that is an amendment. A constitutional amendment for federal income tax.
I know they don't plow.
We can totally change amendments.
But that's going against the Constitution.
All right. I know they don't plow roads very good in Hillsdale County.
I agree with you, but I
enjoy my roads getting plowed in the wintertime when there's 8 inches of snow. Okay? I enjoy that. Somebody's got to pay for that truck. Somebody's got to pay for them employees.
That happens here in Jackson.
And you're going to advocate.
That don't happen in Hillsdale.
I get that. You're going to.
But it will. Everybody will be the
same. You're going to advocate taking property tax and income tax away. Where are we at here? You might. Why aren't you with the Libertarian Party? Those crazy people meet down here at Steve's Ranch once a month.
I just read the platform of the Libertarian Party. I see why you're not. The platform of the Libertarian Party.
Everybody needs to go out and shovel the area right in front of their house.
Build your own roads. I hear it all the time.
All right.
From a Libertarian podcast.
I want to talk about some good news.
Yes.
Okay. All right, because we're not going to settle Ask My Tax today.
No, I
do want to clear something up. I told Chris I'd back off, and I will. He is the grassroots vice chair. He feels that this is a grassroots initiative, and it's a great way to get grassroots people activated, keep them activated. And he thinks that they're going to stay activated in that issue and other issues going into 2026. I don't think it'll work that good, but I'm going to give him that. If somebody personally asks me about Ask My Tax, I'm going to tell them the truth, but I'm done with it. I'm sure I'm going to bring it up on this podcast.
I'm sure it'll come back.
But my whole social media thing that I did last week, which I'm not usually big on that. Mm-hmm. I went in hard. That's cool. Whatever. I'll move on to another issue. All right. So I'm going to give Chris what he asked for a little bit, and I'll back off. It's like Shane Trejo. I can't believe Shane Trejo is influential enough in the state of Michigan to make Mike Rogers lose his last Senate campaign, but apparently he is, and apparently Russ yapping about it is influential to ruin grassroots efforts.
Mike Rogers will make Mike Rogers lose again.
There is no other candidate against Mike Rogers. Huizinga's out there screwing around. I don't know what he's doing. Lindsey.
It's still early, and when somebody like Mike Rogers steps into the ring, this is the problem with the Republican Party. When somebody like Mike Rogers steps into the ring, all the insiders of the old establishment, old money insiders of the Republican Party get behind that candidate outside of the party.
Is that ever going to change?
Not unless we try to change it, not unless we do something about it, not unless we draw attention to it. And the interesting thing is that now, all of a sudden, it seems like that's a narrative that is finally starting to catch on. People are tired of the establishment. They're tired of the old ways.
I'm going to ask
They
you
don't
something,
work.
Lance.
They've
Lance,
not worked my entire life.
Lance, got to ask you something. Remember the
Now I
last
sound annoying.
Yeah. Well, you do.
remember the last primary for governor? I think there's 6 or 8 candidates. No one knew who Garrett Soldano was. No one knew who Ryan Kelly was. They just went out and worked it. They didn't have the backing of the insiders. Yes, that does exist, Lance. I understand that.
Did they win?
Well, they were taken out. I know Ryan was. But my point is they were able to put together a successful hugely successful without winning campaigns without the insider money. Of course, who comes swinging in on a chandelier is Tudor Dixon, and we know that where she was backed on that. I didn't even know who Tudor Dixon was before she was the nominee.
That's the thing. People are so tired of the way the Republican Party has been ran in the past.
Lance
they
is
are-
out of the screen a little bit.
They
I'm
are
fixing it.
they are
Oop, too much.
ready to get behind anybody who stands up for them.
Yeah.
People want somebody in government that is actually representing them and not ignoring them and totally doing everything the opposite of what they say on the campaign trail.
They need to vote for those people.
Say again.
They need to vote for those people.
So I know
Well, that's the thing. It takes a long time for this to get to the point to where enough people pay attention. Because, see, here's the thing. We're insiders. We know what's going on. There's a group outside of the insiders, the supporters, and then there's a group outside of the supporters, the people that don't pay attention. It's hard to get the people that don't pay attention to pay attention. Otherwise, they'd be supporters or they'd be against it.
Mm-hmm.
How many people do you talk to that have no idea what's going on?
right
lot.
now nobody
lot.
knows.
A lot.
Only the insiders.
Well, that's not true.
I jumped on the Tom.
That's not true. Otherwise, the Garrett Soldano and Kelly thing wouldn't. Have been
That's
as big as
true.
It was.
Long before the
It is
campaign,
growing, and it's growing quickly.
they did. They
Well,
were
it's-
true grassroots candidates.
That's the
And
it
it was
the rise of the
phenomenal
internet and
effort
the
what they did.
accessibility of the internet is it has or should have even more made more informed voters.
both
and,
of
and
them-
I wish it would have
in both
more.
of them.
I think it is making more informed voters.
In the majority, yes, but I also I see just as many people going, I don't know anything about that.
both of those two candidates in reference, really made their mark on social media. Look at Grassroots Army with Garrett, and then Ryan jumped on the TikTok thing and reels, short videos. They used it to their advantage, and I guess that was helpful. But that doesn't mean that other candidates with the big money behind them couldn't have done the same thing or didn't do the same thing.
Well, let's talk about.
You pay people for that.
Let's talk about one that actually won and came out of nowhere,
Yeah.
and is probably one of the best representatives that we have. Very, very conservative.
Who? What?
Jonathan Lindsay
Okay. Right.
came out of left field. Nobody knew
Yeah,
who Jonathan
yeah,
Lindsay
I remember
was,
when he came around.
and now he's the best representative that we have in the state of Michigan, in my opinion.
By the way, we never did play that clip.
No, I have it ready whenever, but
What time is it? We don't need to. I want to get off Axmatex anyhow. There was the Alec clip with Art Laffer and Jonathan on the stage with him at Alec with the representative from Alec over the weekend. And part of it, by the way, Jonathan rocked it in that.
Yeah, I mean,
Of course, everybody want to hear from his father-in-law, Art Laffer. But there's a portion in there where Art talks about how property tax is the most debilitating thing for our communities.
it's only 3.5 minutes. I can play it if you want.
Oh, yeah, because it's a clip.
Yeah, I clipped it out.
The clip's
so
not 3.5 minutes.
yeah.
Oh, all right, play it real quick.
All right, hold on. I'll get it up. Boop, boop.
Have you seen this, Lance?
I seen the post, but I didn't.
It's our
see
boy.
I didn't watch it.
Hold on. Sorry, we're having. Why would it do that? Let's go.
The lady looks like Julie Alexander a little bit.
There it goes. There it is. All right, let's go.
issue that you mentioned, property taxes. You know, Alec
Turn it up
has
a
the
bit.
truth in taxation policy that we've been kind of promulgating. And you mentioned California and the property taxes there. I know that a lot of states and governors are looking at property taxes as an issue. Is that something that you're seeing take hold across the country, Dr. Laffer?
Property taxes are the silent killer of the tax system. In Tennessee, there are 433 separate property tax jurisdictions. They range from 0.5% to 3% in the state. If you know where all the high property taxes are in Tennessee, they're all in Memphis, or it's just destroyed the economy of Memphis. It has Tennessee and Nashville. We have a new mayor of Nashville, of Davidson County, and they're proposing a huge new property tax. What you're seeing is the consequences. It is a very simple thing. A property tax is a wealth tax, and as such is a discounted present value back into the value of the home. And once you've destroyed the value of the property, be it a home, a farm, industrial, or a production facility, once you've destroyed that, you've destroyed the entire production base of your state. In Detroit, for example, there are some areas of Detroit that have property tax rates upwards of 20%. If you look at Hartford and Bridgeport in Connecticut, they're upwards of 5%. Never seen worse places. There is no place that the Laffer curve applies more precisely than it does to property taxes. And, you know, we need to really get in there and get a Prop 13 for each and every state and make it guaranteed that property taxes can never grow by more than 2% per year, and that the property tax rate, the effective tax rate, can never exceed 1%. That's just absolutely essential for bringing prosperity back to a lot of states. And I'm working on that right now in Tennessee. I don't know if we'll be successful, but we were very successful in California. And politically, it's dynamite. In California in 1978, we dropped property tax rates by 60% on one day. One day, bang, they were 2.8% down to 1%. The Round Table opposed it. The California Round Table, Small Business Federation opposed it. The Democratic Party opposed it. The Republican Party opposed it. All the unions opposed it. Everyone opposed it except for one little teeny tiny group, the voters. We passed that bill 65-35, and then the voters turned their guns on all the people that had opposed it and exterminated them en masse. If you want to win elections, and if you want to do the right thing, the voters are with you 100%. Property tax limitation, and don't be shy, be bold, and make it 2%, no more growth than that in property tax bills, and no more higher property tax rate than 1% effective rate, and you will have the most prosperous state around. California's sole prosperity is driven by Proposition 13. And if you go to California along the coast, you'll be amazed at how prosperous it really looks in spite of their silly income taxes, corporate taxes, and regulations. They still are doing well only because of Prop 13.
Yes, that's true. Well, we're out of time, but
So the reason why I liked that clip is because Dr. Laffer wasn't advocating for the elimination of property tax. He was advocating for the rollback, the reform of property tax. And that's truly where I'm at here. All right, Tom Leonard, candidate for governor. As early as it is, I've jumped on the Tom Leonard team because on his website, in a personal conversation, I was just in a meeting last week here in Jackson with Tom, that is what he's advocating for, to reform a property tax. And what Tom Leonard is proposing is simple. First one out the gate is no more millage request unless it's in the midterm or the presidential election. Two things happen here. All right. One, voter turnout. Let the voters decide. Number two, then these school districts who use it the most, school districts and municipalities, can only come at you once every 2 years instead of once every 3 or 4 months. You see what I'm saying? So if you're a fan of the elimination of property tax, you probably would like that video. Lance, you're sitting there shaking your head. Me too, because he wasn't advocating for the elimination.
No,
He
not
was
at all.
advocating for the rollback. Let's get our arms around property taxes.
Yeah, get it.
What do you think, Lance?
control the
He said that-
exploitation of
He said they
property
cut 60% right off the top.
tax.
Okay.
This Axe My Tax thing isn't even going to cut 60% right off the top. It's going to take years for it to phase out.
I don't know where the numbers are on that.
Yeah, I'm unfamiliar as well.
It's going to take 2 years. They're allowing 2 years for the legislature to
It's gonna
figure
take-
it out.
2 years for them to figure out what they're going to do, but the property taxes that are already on the books are not going to go away.
I thought it was on the website today. The
Says
minute
they can
it's
no
passed,
longer-
it's the elimination of current villages.
It says they can no
They're
longer
dead.
It can no longer be levied. You cannot levy anymore. You
Okay.
cannot ask the people for more. What they've already passed into
Kevin, bring up the website.
I'm pulling it up right now.
I think it's within the first one, just to glance at it. We all respect Dr. Laffer. He might be a little old school. He is 85, and the Laffer curve was somewhat created back in the Reagan days. He worked for Reagan. He's been
he's been fighting corrupt government his entire life.
he has. The main thing you and I and the three of us really like is the fact that, matter of fact, check it out on YouTube. It gave Senator Lindsay a opportunity to shine a little bit on the Alex stage.
Am I looking for the petition, like the read the petition
No,
part?
I thought you know what up top. I think we might not be a ballot initiative. It has a quick explanation. I thought I found.
Well,
on
it should
there.
have the language on the ballot.
Well, where did it?
Oh, true. If you find the ballot, it has the language on it. I got some
Yeah, it's
over
right there.
in the
Use
next
on it
office.
on the about.
By the
yeah,
way,
that's right. Yeah, that's
if
right.
you want to sign
Yep.
the Axe My Tax petition, they are available at the Jackson GOP office. It doesn't matter if the chairman is not an advocate of Axe My Tax. They are available at the Jackson GOP office Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 10 o'clock until 5 p.m. and Saturdays, 10 until 1. So there is a spot in Jackson County to come and sign the petition. You run into me and you ask, I'm going to let you know. Other than that, I'll keep my mouth shut.
So the Jackson GOP is
All right.
Yes.
Good.
Blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah.
Most of our members are very supportive of it. The chairman is not.
What?
damn chairman.
Yeah, I heard he's a douchebag.
Oh, right there. Well, actually, are we
Here-
gonna
yeah,
read
here's the,
Declaration of Independence today.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
should be up in this section here. I can't read it.
This is
be
just a
there.
petition. Here's the initiative position.
Can somebody in the chat that knows from Axe My
Yeah,
Tax?
It's the top of the ballot is what will be on, or the top of the petition is what will be on the ballot, and that is what will be codified into law.
It doesn't say anything. Over 5 years. Is that what I read? Am I misreading it?
To prohibit real and personal property taxes, currently the primary funding sources for counties, municipalities, schools, community colleges, parks, and voter-approved bond repayment. Increased portion of state sales tax redirected to cities, townships, and villages from 10% to 13.33%, and from 0% to 6.67% for counties. And tobacco tax revenue to local governments allow use of this revenue only for listed essential government and infrastructure services, but not for schools, community colleges, parks, or other local government services. Require 60% voter approval for local tax increases.
Yep.
Require 2/3 vote of legislature for tax increases greater than 0.1% over 5 years. That is the sales tax increase that they are talking about there.
Yeah, I mean, because I read through this whole thing last weekend, and I just don't specifically remember a time frame.
It doesn't say anything. It doesn't say anything about getting rid of the current property taxes that we are already paying.
I think it does.
Actually, according to that top paragraph, which is what will be on the ballot, no. To prohibit real and personal property taxes. To prohibit,
Yeah,
not abolish.
correct. See, the scaremongering tactics used by the people that oppose this, that's just what they are. They don't read the actual statement.
Well, here's the deal.
And the thing is, they probably do.
Last weekend, I dove into this deeply, right? And I spoke with Carla Wagner on the phone, and maybe I misconstrued it. Well, maybe, but she pretty much said, no, it'll be the abolishment of
That's the
income
way I've always
of
been
property
impression of it.
taxes. And I mean, so
See,
of course,
it will be. And by the time,
So
if
when you
this
have a
passes-
5-year public safety renewal at the end of 5 years, then you cannot ask for that renewal.
correct,
That's
the
what Lance is
abolishment.
saying here. Anybody in the chat, Chris Long, anybody smart on there?
let me look.
I
let
mean,
me
I
see
could,
that.
I could, I
Anybody
could, I
from
could
Matt's
totally
My Dad?
be wrong,
How
but
about
I don't
those
think
smart?
I am.
How about those smarty pants in Berrien County? Somebody got an answer to that?
Anybody? That sounded kind of.
I highly doubt
Oh.
that this petition, if it passes into law,
Yeah, the chat's got nothing.
has the ability to get rid of the current property taxes we are currently paying.
My impression when I've heard from Carla and I ran into her presentations more than once is they are done. There's like a 2 or 3
That's what
year
my assumption
time
was.
period for communities and the state to adjust of how they're going to deal with that. But they are all
so
done.
that's the thing. You're going to have to adjust with getting rid of the ability to take money from property owners.
Yeah, and
That's the
I think
adjustment period. You have 3 years to put something in place that's going to take over the property tax situation.
We just approved a 5-year public safety millage.
Yeah, and that's going to go on for 5 years, and then you're not going to be able to do
That's
it again.
not my impression.
Well, yeah, exactly. And actually, that's the problem right there. That actually turns me off as a voter more. That there's literally, I spoke to on the website the founder and key proponent of Ask My Tax, Carla. I spoke to her on the phone last Monday, and the way it came across to me was that right now, abolishment of all taxes, pull the plug. And so that means that since the initiative is going at it wrong, because as much as I try not to be, I am more of an insider than most people. But guess what? Your normal people aren't any bit of insider. That I just came to this epiphany. Other people don't have that ability to sit here and have somebody else really explain it to them. So they assume the same thing. So that telling me that the gray area is making it so, okay, well, maybe we need to figure out this wording a little bit better, because you put a gray area in and now the government's going to fuck it up.
It all comes down to the wording, yes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we don't need to be perfect, but I think it needs to be better.
By the way, I'm going to get a jab in here.
Yeah.
Kevin tried to reach out to Carla a few times.
Mm-hmm.
With no response about being on this podcast today. So we got Lance.
Yeah, man.
I just started looking into this. I've been busy with local stuff.
Yeah, I know you have been.
I literally got my information all came from about 48 hours of research.
We're running out of time, and I want to talk about Lifeways in Hillsdale County.
Oh, God. What about Jackson County?
Yes.
It's the same one.
All right. Let's start from the beginning.
Can you pull up the Lifeways board members?
Yeah. Lifeways in Hillsdale or Lifeways?
Yeah, I know.
It's the same board.
Is it the same board? Okay, well.
All right. I got to clear something up.
Give me a second.
That I sent to you. All right. Let's take Hillsdale. Lifeways comes to Hillsdale County some time ago. Hey,
Board of Directors.
Our facility sucks. We need a new facility. Will you guys pay for it? And we will pay you back and continue to give mental health care to Hillsdale County. And the Hillsdale County Board of Commissioners get together and without a vote of the people, 3-2 said, yep, we'll spend all this money on a new facility. Lance,
So you have to also go a little bit farther back in time to the year before, where they brought it before that board, and that board turned it down twice. The only thing that
they just kept bringing it back like property taxes.
And the thing is, they couldn't bring it back because you can only bring a what do you call it? A proposition forward if you're a board member once. If it gets turned down, you can't bring it back before the board.
Unless you're in the majority. If
Unless you vote no. If you vote no on something, you can then bring it back to the table. If you vote in the positive for it, you can't bring it back to the table if it loses.
Oh, weird. By the way, is this
Isn't
what you were?
government
Okay,
fun?
wait.
Isn't government fun? So
Nobody
here's
listening.
The thing.
No
Here's
one
the thing.
listening gives a shit. Let's get back
No,
to
this is
to
very
the
important.
process.
This is the process.
Okay.
The corrupt process.
Okay.
So the board turned it down twice.
Okay.
Then a new
Board.
representative
Right.
got elected because the old one didn't run again.
Mhm.
This new representative then brings this before the board once again because he's never brought it before the board before and he never voted, so he can bring it up.
Got it. It's weird.
So then they vote yes. They vote 3-2.
They vote to approve to spend a gob of money for the Lifeways facility, and Lifeways would pay it back over a course of time. Lance and the good citizens of Hillsdale County were like, that's bullshit. It should be on a ballot, right? And you guys with the grassroots efforts run around Hillsdale where the houses are a mile apart. You and I talked about that on the phone. It's easier to collect.
You're lucky if it's a mile apart.
Yeah,
that's-
it's easier to collect
that's
Down a
signatures.
dirt road with potholes that we
Right.
That's like a
And
lake hood.
you
That's like a
guys-
lake neighborhood.
Obtained enough signatures, not legally, but enough signatures for the Hillsdale County Commission to revote, and they voted, okay, fine, citizens of Hillsdale, we're going to put it on a ballot.
To correct you a little bit there.
Okay.
Didn't collect enough signatures. We needed
right, please.
3,400 and I believe we got 2,400, but that was enough turnout.
Could they have told you to kick rocks though because of that?
Well, see, the thing is that the Hillsdale County is a small, tight-knit community type area, and so many people are upset over this. And
They sensed the pushback.
nobody's for it except for the people that work at Lifeways.
Right.
Right.
They're the only. See, here's
And some of them probably
There's
live
been-
in Jackson
and that's the next
O-
thing. They
other
come from
counties.
Jackson to talk in Hillsdale.
Actually,
You need
some of the
support
names I know
Lifeways.
pretty
and
well
we'll
here.
get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
Leave that right
Is
up.
that what
Kevin.
you wanted?
Yeah,
By the way,
that's what I
Lance.
want.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
We'll get to it, but I just
All
want to
right,
make sure
Lance,
it's right.
you guys were successful at convincing the county commission that we're going to put this on in front of a ballot. It'd be a millage,
We
right?
were successful in intimidating the new representative that
Okay.
brought it to the table and vote no.
Switch his
on-
vote.
on his own proposition.
Okay, great. Yay. Good
Right.
citizens
Now
of
it's on the
Hillsdale,
ballot.
grassroots effort was able to convince the board that you're going to put it on the ballot, a millage request,
Right.
countywide
No,
millage.
not a millage request, a bond request.
Same freaking
Well,
thing.
it's
If you
similar,
ask
but
me.
it's not.
But anyway, so you guys are successful so that this 5 people that sit on that county commission don't have it. Let's listen to the people. Okay. Yay, Hillsdale people. And then I read an article and I send it to you to where Lifeways now is going to go bye-bye. Bring that up.
Maybe
What?
I didn't read that.
What?
Look at the board members, by the way. I
yeah.
know
Yeah.
a
These
few
are the
of them.
board
We'll get
hold
back
on.
to that.
Yeah, these are the board members. Which I mean, I know
I guess
some
we
of
do it
these
now.
names.
So Mark Wiley is our chair of Hillsdale County. Who's your guy?
I've got
The
Pulaski and Snell.
Smith lady was on the board last term, I believe,
Mhm.
or the term before last. Those are the only 2 people from Hillsdale.
Right here.
Oh, wait,
Lord.
there's Bruce Caswell. He's been on the commissioners for a long time, but he's not anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
it looks like there's a vacant spot.
They'll never find it.
So how many are from your Jackson board?
I don't know. This is just the overall board, I guess.
The 2 I pointed out are commissioners, county commissioners.
Yeah, Pulaski and Snell.
So many county commissioners are supposed to be on there. I don't know any of the rest of them.
I don't know who Bradley Bonner is, but he looks like a serial killer. I'm gonna say it.
So there's 4, 8.
There's 11
There's 11 board members.
and a vacant
and
spot.
5 of them are.
You should apply for that vacant spot, Lance.
Well, if I did, they just passed. They're getting pensions now. They gave themselves pensions.
Oh,
No,
About
they
the-
didn't.
the only
That's
job in
what
the
I've
world.
heard.
They gave themselves raises though. I do know
So
that.
did I hear wrong?
How do I get a raise? I want a raise.
I'm just trying to see here.
So out of the 11-person board. There's 5 past or current county commissioners on the board. 4 Lifeways.
Yeah.
Isn't that odd?
It's interesting.
Isn't it?
I think it's a good word. I was looking at like some of these board members have been on since 1996, 1989. That must be a cushy job. 2015.
Yeah, how much money do they make?
I don't know.
No, I don't think they're making a living on it.
He's been doing it since 1989. He
I
must be
also
doing all
heard
right.
that they use the board to fund fancy vacations.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Well, that's the thing.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
So is that considered buying a commissioner's vote if you get put on a board and you get fancy vacations and some money and maybe a
So
pension out of the deal?
why are you going to speculate? You were just
I'm just asking questions.
you were just running at us over speculation, Lance. Lashaway.
Speculation over more government.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of the Lifeway.
Now that okay, so that was the Lifeways is a not for profit or nonprofit, correct?
Okay, it is a separate nonprofit organization,
Okay.
and the counties can select any nonprofit to run their mental health. They can pick any. They picked Lifeways a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
They can also fire them, but usually when you put one of those together, then you set up a board.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's Hillsdale and Jackson, there's so many Hillsdale people on it. There's supposedly so many Jackson people on it, and then they, come up with grand ideas about building a new facility and asking Hillsdale taxpayers to pay for it.
Yeah, but these are board members that are appointed by county commissioners according to their website. Okay.
That's right.
Well, let's not forget that the building. So they're not asking
What's wrong with the building they got, Lance?
nothing, as far as I can tell.
Where's that
It
at?
might need a little bit of work. It's back on Cara Drive, I believe it's called, where all the other government buildings are.
Oh,
we actually have. I'm sure Jackson does too.
Yeah.
We got this little road that has all the government buildings on it.
Well, actually, our Lifeways is right on the main
our
drag.
Lifeways is separate. It's on West Ave out here by
Yep.
all the shopping and restaurants and everything. It's an old furniture warehouse that they converted into.
Yeah, our governments are so big they need their own road with their own sprawling parking
is
lots
spread
and
out.
all the buildings.
Yeah, we are pretty spread out
the
compared to
county
most
has
places.
out Lansing, then
Yeah.
there's downtown, and then there's ours. There's
I guess each municipality is pretty close, but they're not like right neighbors. But then like Lifeways is way out on West Avenue, dang near to the highway.
I briefly read an article and I sent it to Lance, but the link that I sent to Lance just opens up the news source page, and it was probably a week ago, and I'm not going to go through it all, but I thought I read where Lifeways is essentially tapping out when their contract is up or soon, because the federal funding isn't enough to support what they need to get done. So they're going to tap out essentially. Boy, am I winging it here too? I might be getting a call from.
I'm looking it up.
I might get a call from Ray Snell on this one. He's on the board. They're going to tap out, forcing the counties to seek other ways for their mental health needs.
Well, I noticed
if
that
that is true, here if Hillsdale would have broke ground and spent this money on their new facilities, and Lifeways were to tap out, would Hillsdale residents would have been on the hook for that?
You'd have to absorb that, right?
Yeah, that totally would have been on us, and that's exactly what
that was exposed the day after you and I talked on the phone when you brought me up to speed on how this happened down there. It was literally the next day I read an article, and I wished I could find it, where I thought I read where Lifeways is tapping out.
I don't think
because of I think the federal funding, which then in turn would have left Hillsdale in a lurch to pay for this new facility.
They're tapping out at Jackson.
I thought they're tapping out altogether.
I think, if I remember correctly, and which I could be wrong, I think they're tapping out of Jackson and they're moving their operations to Hillsdale.
So Lifeways the only contract.
But the thing is that they've been hamstrung now by getting this on the ballot, we've pushed off their date another year. Well, another thing that is going on with Lifeways in Hillsdale, the building that they are currently in, they are to be out of that building soon.
Uh-oh.
Within the year.
Does the government own the building, or do they lease the space? Or
That's
something?
the next thing. It's very confusing because apparently Lifeways did own the building, but somehow now the government has control of the building and they own the building. And they have pretty much evicted Lifeways, and they got to be out by the next year. That is what brought on this whole
Why they need a spot.
why they need a spot. But see, the inside baseball of all of this is that the county commissioners knew all this was happening and
Created a sense of urgency.
created the sense of urgency and pretty much manipulated the situation
Yeah.
to the advantage of Lifeways. That is the problem,
You go back to the board members.
and that
again,
is how
Kevin.
Yeah,
local government is
I got it right
corrupt.
And I'll pull it up for the people. Hold on one second. All right. now
Oh
I'm-
yeah, Lance's buddy Mark Wiley, Earl Pulaski, our boy Earl from Jackson. He's the chair, and Ray Snell, our county commissioner, is the treasurer. I think I knew that. I don't know Smith.
Smith is a past commissioner of Hillsdale County.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Boner there. I like,
Boner.
I like his hair. Edward, who's this? Bruce Caswell.
Bruce Caswell is a past commissioner of Hillsdale
Oh.
County. So
And
is
then
Mark
Betsy
Wiley.
Sparks. She's kind of the hot one of the bunch. Kind of.
I mean,
Any more?
politician. No, that's all of them because the last one's a vacant seat.
Oh, yeah, that's the seat Lance is going to apply for.
That'd be hilarious.
You're going to do it.
Just do it for fun.
I'm trying to find exactly what you're talking about, but I mean, I'm seeing lots of things about it being the money being cut by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. In the wake of a federal announcement, I noticed at the top of that page that I have up, it says Michigan Public Health System is at risk. Join us at blah blah blah. Hold on, there was more.
Yeah, I
Well,
even Googled
There was
it.
something that said, "Oh yeah, to reduce or remove local control and reduce transparency." That because the DHH's plan could cut funding, remove local control, and reduce transparency. That's right on the top of that page that I have up.
Of the Lifeways page?
Yeah, that blue box.
Which I don't know how you can reduce transparency any more than it already is.
Yeah, I know, right? So it seems like it's rather on the far end of opaque. So
And remove local control. Like, there is no local control. These commissioners that sit on their board,
that's the other thing I keep
Control
reading
it.
is like the big push of like, no, voters should vote for this, not commissioners.
well, the thing is that the voters put the commissioners in to represent them. The
Right.
problem is the commissioners don't listen to the people that vote for them. And and just watch any of the past commissioner meetings, and you can see standing room only in their meeting rooms with person after person after person after person saying, do not do this. And what do? They vote for it.
Yeah, I agree.
That is not local. That's not local
So,
representation.
and I know your challenges in Hillsdale of
I mean, maybe
getting different commissioners.
maybe other counties aren't as bad as Hillsdale.
No, they're not. They are. Like Earl Pulaski, for example, on there. He's a longtime county commissioner, then termed out as state representative, and then was appointed by Snyder. He was like the chair of the HUD or something. And then he, of course, the Gretsch gets in and kicks him to the curb. He comes back to Jackson. There was a open spot on the county commission meeting. I think someone passed away, and he was reappointed to the county commission. And heck, I think he's on a second or third term. Here's my thing, and this is where Lance and I will disagree until we both read up in our
Disagree
graves.
again?
Earl Pulaski is not the same type of Republican I am.
No.
I'm a big less government, try to do lower taxes guy on the commissioner. He's the first one to expand government. That come from the Snyder days, that's what they did. And
Can we kick him out of the party?
it always seems like he's the first one that would suggest
Okay. Yeah.
We do.
finding more money. That being said, he'll fight for your gun rights. He'll fight for life. He fights for a lot of things. I rather have him as that county commissioner, and he does come with a wealth of experience, and he is an accountant, so he's kind of the numbers guy on there. So I'm not going to sit here and say We have to replace Earl Pulaski. Good luck doing that, by the way. You'll never find a candidate that would beat him in the primary. So Earl's okay in his own way. I'm one of these guys that takes all kinds of Republicans to get by. Let's go with the 85% thing that Lance hates. Okay. I'm cool as long as we get along 85% of the time. I get along like 5% of the time with Democrats.
Yeah.
So that's
Or less.
Or less. So that's where I'm at with that. And then
Well,
Ray.
The thing is, the 85%, low taxes, limited government, that's in that 85%. If you can't low taxes and limit government, those are big sticking points.
The biggest sticking point is life, abortion. In the party, I don't think Republican voters give a shit as much as about the people in the party do.
But that's because that elicits emotion.
Emotion.
And, it's like I already talked about, well, you should eliminate emotion from politics. You'll never do it.
It's hard.
Politics is packed with emotion constantly. I mean, gun rights is an emotional thing for a lot of people. Beyond just, what I think is a human right. It's like the emotional right.
Our county commission with Mr. Pulaski on it during COVID would not enforce COVID rules. Well, that was a weird thing. They wouldn't spend any county resources on enforcing COVID rules.
All right.
Sounds like a great guy.
Unlike
Lenawee and Branch County, they fired a health department director because that health department director was going in a little too strong on those COVID rules. So even Commissioner Pulaski fought for our rights when it was time to fight for our rights. Okay. Ken's M60 Grill in Concord stayed open all the way through Concord. Never a violation. Never one. You go up the road, 6 miles to Harold's, and look at the shit he went through in Jonesville and Hillsdale County, because as free as, if you ask me, it's a freer society in Hillsdale and Branch County than it is in Jackson. Less government, especially in Hillsdale. But the way you guys got your health department structured was sharing with Branch County made him crazy.
Yeah.
We had direct control over our health department, where Hillsdale had to split it with a board like the Lifeways board with Branch County officials and Hillsdale County officials. And that's how restaurants like, is it Harold's Place?
That's how Hillsdale gets into trouble, is when we split things with other counties.
It's just like Lifeways right here,
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And they think they're doing it to save resources. We'll go in cahoots with one another.
It ends up costing us more and more and more money.
Apparently, although Branch County is pretty red, I think where the problem lies in Branch County is the city of Coldwater, and I think it's like Jackson, although smaller, where the libs live in the city, and where Hillsdale don't have that as much. I know the city of Hillsdale's probably got your Democrats more than anything, but it's still pretty red city.
Hillsdale is the reddest. I think it is the reddest county in Michigan.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And the
it's
problem
pretty red.
is that all the Republicans in Hillsdale, many of them, a very good portion that serve in our government, aren't Republican.
Yeah,
we don't have a Democrat party in Hillsdale. Democrats do not run on the ticket.
Yeah, they don't in Jackson either. They just get kicked out of their spot. They get recalled, and then they run as a Republican.
No, they don't even get recalled.
No, I say that happened in our area.
Yeah, I get it.
And I've said that a lot.
When you have no choice but to run as a Republican, you're going to get the occasional Democrat or extremely Republican jumping on the ticket and as a Republican.
Well, the thing is, saying that Hillsdale County is the reddest, when you only have a choice of red,
sometimes
of course it's going to be red.
Actually, that's a problem.
It's a massive problem.
It's a worse problem than say what we have in Jackson. Then
the Democrats vote in the Republican primary.
Yeah, for real.
Well, it's just like if I was ever to run in Washtenaw, I would run as a Democrat. I mean, because otherwise you're not going to win in Ann Arbor.
So how do you
No.
fix that for both parties?
I know it's a problem.
Oh,
That's a whole nother
That-
episode.
yeah, we don't have enough time. Back to close.
Yeah, actually,
primaries.
we're actually coming up on wrap. So
Yeah,
I know you probably have some
Lance?
announcements.
I don't think we settled a damn thing.
We never
today,
do. We never do.
Other than vice.
Well, we
chair.
did find something out. We did find out that Axe My Tax is not the abolishment, according to their wording on their petition. It's not the
If I'm
abolishment.
not wrong, I could be mistaken.
Well, we read it, and from what
I
I
know.
gathered as well. But I mean, I think there's
In
more
this-
clarification that needs
in
to be
this
done.
setting right here.
Mhm.
Reading that is difficult to comprehend. I'd be curious when we're done. I will be looking into that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
read-
do know what Carla and Dave Jones, when he was big on Axe
Mhm.
My Tax, what they said. It would be the immediate elimination
Yeah.
of all millages.
yeah, but there's two ways to take that.
So why are they selling it that way if that's not the case?
Well, it depends on how you understand how that's said.
Carla knows.
Well, she said it, and there was no follow up question.
She said it more than once. It's not
But-
like she just said
I
it.
don't know what the follow-up question would be.
She's not wrong though.
When she said, "Hey, this is going to abolish property taxes," then I don't know what the follow-up question would be. What does abolishment mean?
no, is it going to abolish the current property taxes or the property taxes that are going to
But
in the future? Will
even-
they abolish future property taxes?
Even according to their wording,
current
it
ones?
looks like it's just they're just going to prohibit further property taxes. Like it's
Well,
weird.
see,
It's something
that's where the
I'll have
wording
to
comes
report
in.
back on.
I'll tell you what.
She's not wrong in saying that it's going to abolish property taxes because it is going to abolish property taxes in the future. But it's not going to abolish property taxes.
Why are you blowing smoke
that
up
are
our? Why would
current.
someone like that blow smoke up my ass for the last 3 years?
Because it elicits emotion.
Did this question ever come up?
It comes up all the time.
No,
I've heard-
no.
Should it have to?
The question, I think it probably.
Why
should.
are you putting it in the gray area? Gray areas are what get you in trouble.
Well, is it?
My grandmother talks
I
about.
don't know the question that was asked to elicit the answer that you got.
I
More
asked her,
riddles.
"Hey, tell me about Axe My Tax." That was
It abolishes property taxes.
but
No, specifically, I recall. Yes, it will immediately eliminate all existing millages. I'm not making this up.
Okay, so existing
I'm-
villages,
I'm-
that does
I
sound
don't
like
hear
it's gonna
well,
get rid of
but
the
I-
existing ones.
So, anyways, in this setting, that is hard to study.
yeah, it needs to be.
We will
It'll be revisited.
look
for
into
sure.
this further and bring it back next Monday, at least briefly, to clear it up. I'll tell you what, I'll reconsider my stance to a certain point if the existing millages that are on the books stay on the books that the voters approved, whether it was in a low turnout bullshit May elections
Mhm.
or not, if those stay on the books, eliminate future property taxes or millage requests,
Yeah.
I'll consider changing my mind.
Yeah, I
That'd be
think
interesting if that is a
I'm
mix-up.
I'm sending Carla an email after the show.
We gotta get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm sure I can get a hold of her.
We gotta,
Oh yeah, she called me
We
at
didn't
8:30 in the morning last
we-
Monday.
We didn't get to talk about delegates.
we're not gonna.
we never get to
I
everything.
do want to say something. If you ever met Carla in person, you have to appreciate the fight and the effort she and many people
Mhm.
in this effort have done now for 3 years, maybe going on 4. It's been a long time.
She said 5 years when I
Yeah,
spoke to
right.
her,
It's
so
been a
I
long
don't know
time.
how long exactly.
She is a warrior. She will go anywhere, anytime to talk about this. She's been in Jackson. I've been at events where she's at. She is a machine. Others are involved with that. Some were involved and aren't involved anymore, or they had to, tap out for whatever reason. I do appreciate the fact
Mhm.
that she has created a grassroots movement and gotten as far as she has, and to be kicked in the teeth and come back at it again.
Yeah.
The money, which they're way short on the money to get this across the line. The money probably out of pocket is amazing. So
Mhm.
I do appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
And everybody in the effort. And I am not wanting to start a war with Berrien County. I think Berrien County rocks in their own ways.
Berrien's awesome.
Ashley White, their chair, she's a rock star. Their bylaws are structured different than Jackson. I can't totally always agree with them. I think a Republican Party, just like the beginning of our bylaws, are what, Kevin? To recruit, train, and elect Republicans. Their bylaws, I believe, start with hold elected officials accountable.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's great. I think that should be another organization. But that does not mean I dislike Berrien County or anybody that I've met over there. And I've met quite a few. By the way, they know how to fundraise. They've made a gob of money in little old Berrien County. So there's that. And then Chris, thanks for the phone call. We'll see how that plays out in the future. He is the grassroots chair. If he thinks this is a grassroots effort that's going to help win elections,
He would be the one that knows.
I'll give him enough rope to hang himself. I hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Lance, you and I, we're bubs.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun show.
We
It's always fun. With
we
Lance.
always have spirited debates on the phone, in person, or whatever, and then also sometimes we just kick back and talk the shit.
Yep.
You know, we're bubs, and that's the way this is supposed to be. Not a whole lot going on in Jackson right now. Thankfully, it's kind of a break. We do have the fair coming up August 3rd through the 9th.
Couple weeks.
Go to jacksongop.org. I don't care who you are. Sign up for a shift at the fair. We'll get you in the fair for free. By the way, I just found out all parking at the fair is for free. Art Main Chevrolet and some whatever. Art Main Chevrolet is paying for all the parking.
Nice.
So you don't have to pay $5 to park. And then if you join us at the fair booth, we'll give you a pass to get in the fair for free. Be a great way to hang out, get to know people. jacksongop.org. Also all kinds of stuff on there. One more thing. Let me see. Oh, I have Tom Leonard petitions. Listen, these guys running for governor have to have so many signatures to get on the ballot. I'm sure Tom's going to be fine. I think
but don't rest on your laurels on that. Like, I mean, if
Huh?
if you're a supporter of Tom Leonard, sign the petition. Don't not sign the petition because you think he'll be fine.
That's right. Get a hold of me. I will come to you. By the way, I'm trying to hook up with our boy Jerry Hargrove, and I thought maybe he'd visit me Saturday. I was up here. I might have to go over to Jerry's house over there in
Not so
Vandercook.
bad.
You know, I have to get special permits to go to Vandercook.
Yeah. Well, you have to cross the other bridge.
But I think maybe Jerry can arrange that for me. But anyways, I have Tom Leonard petitions to help get him on the ballot. All the candidates for governor are pretty much, they're decent. I like Eric Nesbitt. I've met Mike Cox. I haven't had a long conversation with him. I've seen an interview on Grassroots Army with him. Seemed pretty solid to me. I'm trying to get him in Jackson September 11th. You know, we're in the thick of it here. But I jumped on the Tom Leonard thing because he wants to get his arms around property taxes.
Yeah, well,
So
I think that there's a path to it, and I think that everyone's brought up a good point, and I've gone both ways on it. I think it just needs some clarification, and I think that there'd be actually more support with some more clarification, because
back in the day, I thought it'd be more bipartisan.
it should be.
I was like, you need to get.
But like Lance said,
Democrats hate America.
But then you got to deal with Democrats.
Yeah, but some of them pay property taxes. People got to realize.
Well, all of them do.
Just because if you
they
rent,
live in houses.
by the way, if you rent anywhere, you're paying property taxes.
That's why your rent goes up.
Right. You're
You're talking about the people that don't pay
young
attention
tenants
to it.
out there. They think, oh, that doesn't matter to me. It should.
It does. though.
Every dime that the property owner spends, whether it's a new storm door, new flooring, the roof, the garbage service, if they pay your utilities, property taxes, all figures into your rent. It is a business.
It's part of the reason why rent is so ridiculous now.
Well, that and the whole COVID thing, where you didn't have to pay
Here's
rent,
the
you
problem.
couldn't evict them, but
Here's the
they
problem
didn't
with
give a
landlords.
kickback to landlords.
Yeah, that was fun.
If Trump
Yeah,
saves the
bad.
economy and it gets cheaper to get by, let's say goods and services go lower,
Mhm.
right? Do you think there's any landlord that's going to lower the rent
No.
if the economy?
Oh no, they're here to stay.
they're hoping to profit. I've been a landlord. Lance, you are a landlord.
Yeah. It's
If
funny. My
property-
landlord
if-
told me the only reason he's renting the apartments that I'm in are just to pay for his taxes.
But he's
But he's a little different.
Your
but
landlord is a different.
He's a different animal, that's for
If
sure.
property taxes go away,
Are you going to lower your
I
rent?
mean, I might consider loading a couple $100.
I doubt it.
Like,
My rent's very inexpensive.
Oh, we're gonna keep that
Yeah.
200 a month.
Yeah.
Taxes
Anyways,
are thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
They are.
yeah.
People don't realize,
Especially a property owner that has rentals or whatever. It's not homesteaded.
Yeah.
You're paying the max,
hmm
and then if you own commercial property, brother.
Yeah. And
Oh,
that's where
brother.
my landlord falls.
the commercial building.
Yeah,
I used
it's
to
a
own in
little bit of
Hillsborough,
everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Kevin, let's
We'll
get
talk
the hell
about
out
that.
of here.
Well, you
Yeah.
want to know why? You want to know why there's no small businesses anymore, and why they're dying? Buy a commercial building. You'll figure it out real quick.
Yeah, it's
I believe it. Do you have anything else, Pops? About GOP? Nothing?
No, I'm good.
Okay, guys.
See you at the fair.
Check us out every Monday, 2 p.m. We'll be here talking about something. That's for sure. Make sure if you want to donate to the show, you can go to ko-fi.com/STTP pod. And follow us on Facebook and all that stuff's in there. Thank you, Roy Rat, for throwing the GNC PAC, or what is that?
Who did?
PPAC. The Grand New Party, GNPPAC.com. That's probably down in the description still. Roy Rat puts out whatever I
that's cool.
put in the description.
Right.
Yeah, he's good.
Grand
about
New
that.
Party's cool.
Did you have something?
I wanted to comment on your new intro.
Oh.
I wasn't here in the beginning, so I didn't get to say anything.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome. It's
You
way
like it?
better than your other one.
Oh yeah, I've been tweaking it. We've come to an agreement that we kind of like it, and it's grown on us.
So I like
You could definitely tweak it a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it's-
like the metal
good.
sound.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
good.
the
Yeah, I
metal
think.
sound
Well, I
on
think I
that
might go
one.
back to just a straight instrumental.
No wording.
Yeah, kind of like how we had it the first time.
I like
But
the
we'll
wording.
see.
The words
Yeah,
are-
it's good.
We'll see.
I say
Well,
we tweak the wording.
I keep playing with it and
Yeah.
try and find something good. So
Yeah.
it's all AI. So that's what it is. Anyways, guys. So beyond that, we'll be here next Monday.
Thanks, Lance.
And hopefully,
No problem.
I'll look into it, get some more information about the Act My Tax and stuff, and come up with a better, I guess, opinion myself. Because right now, I'm totally lost.
I'm not signing it yet.
Yeah,
Nor probably will I.
Where's my outro? There it is. All right, guys.
If I'm correct, you might.
I'm still doubting it, but we'll see.
My thing just updated, and I don't know why I did that. Here we go. Every time I stumble. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. We're out of here.
You've been listening to a Grandma's Boy Media Production.
Welcome to the Stick to the Plan podcast. Michigan's elite political podcast is about to begin, live from the birthplace of the Republican Party.